Most important thing in business is honesty, integrity, hard work, family, never forgetting where we came from.
Welcome to the Network Show. I'm your host, Lawrence Wingate.
And I'm Nancy White, your other host. And today we have a beautiful young entrepreneur,
Yes.
Kayla Colon, and she is the designer of children's parties for Celebrations Remembered. So we're so glad you're here today, Kayla.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So Kayla, there are so many other young people out in this world with amazing, creative, smart brains and beauty like you. So the things that you have remembered as far as growing up in an entrepreneur family, because your mom started doing some other kinds of entrepreneurial businesses. And is this the first business that you have actually been a part of?
Well, to have an official job title, yes. But I remember when I was really little, my mom had a business teaching people CPR. And I had my little baby doll CPR dummy thingy.
Uh-huh.
And if someone was doing it wrong, I'm like, no, this is how you do it.
So you were instructing them, okay.
So
Yes, in fact, I met your mom, and she came and did a CPR class for myself and some other ladies. And so that was amazing. So you started getting into the entrepreneurial business just by being there, right? Mm-hmm.
So, how does it feel to work with your mother and your grandmother in the business?
I love spending time with them and getting those like memories of what we are able to create together. And I love seeing what started as a piece of paper and a pencil turn into this grand party that looks amazing. And I just like seeing the process of how it goes from nothing to beautifulness.
All right. So, how does it feel to have your role as creating children parties?
I like being able to have that leadership role and having the responsibility to do something to help my mom. And I just like being able to just create, because I like to see myself as very creative. So that's a way to put my creative energy into something.
That's amazing, because I had read a statistic years ago, Kayla, that said the most wealthy people in the world are the ones with creative minds. So having a creative mind, I think that's a great asset that you have, and that you want to develop it and use it to help other people.
So, now that how long have you been working in the business?
I've been working in it since it started. Right from the beginning, I was there helping, trying to bring it up from the ground. And I was there with our first party hosting, and then about a couple months ago, almost a year, I got my official job title, and I was so excited.
All right.
So
Congratulations.
I know. How many young entrepreneurs have an official title and are part of an entrepreneurial business that is doing very well? So I think that's fantastic. So when you think about when children, or you get the subject matter, does it just come to you right away, Kayla, or do you have to think about it a little bit?
I kind of have to think about it. Like, at this moment, I have a little bit of a block. I really don't know what theme to do, because there's so many out there that you just have to kind of settle on one and then just go from there with the invitations, the decorations, the food, all of the goodies.
Yeah.
So
How do you feel when you get inspired to create a theme?
I get excited. I'm like, I got a theme. I'm ready to create. I look up different decorations for like ideas for decorations and ideas for the theme itself, and it's amazing feeling.
So, how old are you?
I'm about to be 12.
About to be 12. What do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be a veterinarian.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because I love animals, and I feel like it's a great way to be with them, but also help them. So
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Being a veterinarian. It's a good thing.
It absolutely is. And I think it's great that you can know that you can do other things along that journey too. Even becoming a veterinarian, you get to be creative too in some ways, especially when you have an animal that's not very cooperative too. Mm-hmm. So,
All right.
yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to come right back and speak with you again, okay? All right.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Rokina with Celebrations Remembered. And if you've ever had a celebration that was so stressful that you hardly remember it, then we are the folks for you. We handle everything from start to finish, from your invitations all the way to your final cleanup. Our contact information on Facebook is facebook.com/celebrationsremembered and the number 1. Our email address is info@celebrationsremembered.com, and our phone number is 704-259-4458.
Welcome back to the Network Show. I'm your host, Lawrence Wingate.
And I'm your host, Nancy White, and we still have Kayla Colon with us, and she is the children's designer for Celebrations Remembered. So we've had a great time asking questions and talking, Kayla, before we left for the break. So thinking back on your journey as just, working with Celebrations Remembered and some other things too, but what have been some of the challenges? Because being a young person, you're still going to school, you still have activities. So what have been some of the challenges that you've come across?
well, since I am going to school, I try to get really high grades. So it's hard to juggle homework and activities because I go to tumbling. I want to start cheerleading and taekwondo this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the business, so I have that to juggle. Yeah.
It is, but I love how you keep your priorities, and I love that you want to keep your grades high so that, you don't have to go through any of those struggles as far as having to go through some tutoring and things like that. So Lawrence, anything else that you want to ask?
Well, I'm very interested. I want to know about the taekwondo. Why you want to participate in it?
Well, I just think it's a good activity to do to stay fit and just something to take my mind off of school because I stress myself out a lot because of how many tests. There's interims, there's end of grade tests, there's final exams, and then all the other tests in between. So I think it's just a great way to get my mind off of school.
Okay.
That's great. So, well, going back then, being an entrepreneur young person, what would you share with some other young people that have that same kind of desire, that passion to try something? What kind of advice would you give those young people?
I would say don't let people tell you that you can't, because when you're still young, you're still a kid, people say, oh, you're a kid, I'm not going to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
So as many times as they say, I'm not going to listen to you, you can go do something else, focus on school. You can say, I'm just going to keep trying. I'm not going to give up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep going and pursue what I want to do. And I would also say, just get your voice to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anybody put you down and say, oh, you're just a kid. No, you're not just a kid. You're a person, and you should be heard, and you might have great business ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and people say, oh, no, you can't. But you can.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hear that?
You can.
You can.
You can.
This is proof. You can.
Yes.
So, Kayla, we appreciate you coming on the show, and we thank you. Continue doing what you're doing. And I see the potential in you to be a great entrepreneur in the future. And an awesome, what you said you're going to do?
Oh, I want to be a veterinarian.
There you go. Awesome veterinarian.
Yes, and hopefully we will have you back again and we can have an update to find out what's going on with Kayla. Would you come back?
Yes, I would come back.
That would be great.
Exactly. Well, this ends the network show. See you next week.
Most important thing in business is honesty. Integrity, hard work. Family. Never forgetting where we came from. So you are what you are in this world. That's either one or two things. Either you're somebody or you're nobody. The most important thing in business is honesty. Family. Never forgetting where we came from. So you are what you are in this